Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Grey Death Legion Heavy Battle Lance miniatures from Catalyst Game Labs for Battletech. Now, this is going to be similar to the other miniatures reviews that we do, where we'll take a look at some of the classic art and compare it to the actual model or any variations that they've made to the particular sculpt. But before we get into that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, anywhere from board games, miniatures, role-playing, anything in between. We'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. In addition, there are links down below to our social media, a couple of affiliate links to either Amazon or DriveThruRPG. And if you would like to help out and support the channel, we'd absolutely appreciate it. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so first up, we have the Gargoyle. Now, originally, you had this piece of art that was in Tech Readout 3050. I've talked about it before, where these original designs, I like them because it was a different style of art that we would get for Battletech. But then we got this version for the ilClan era. Obviously, it's much more dynamic. It looks a lot more interesting. New armor plates. It's a fun design. Now, if we take a look at the miniature itself, this is actually the C variant. Now, the ilClan art represents the prime configuration, so that's the stock model of Gargoyle. But in this case, the right arm comes with 6 ER medium lasers, similar to what you'd find on a Nova. And the left arm has an Ultra Autocannon 20. So basically, they just took the same model, gave us some new arms, but at the end of the day, it's a Gargoyle. It's nice to have some variants, do things a little bit differently, as opposed to just repeating a lot of the same miniatures. So I do like how Catalyst is mixing it up and giving us some different looks. All right, next up we're going to have the K variant Catapult. Essentially, this is the Karita variant, which would strip the LRM 15s and replace them with PPCs. There are multiple variants of this that have, whether it's heavy PPCs or whatnot, it's a very popular configuration because obviously you can get around those pesky ammunition issues. Honestly, I really like how this model turned out. It sort of seems a little silly, but I mean, especially after playing like the Battletech computer game, things like that, I really like the look of it. It's interesting because it's similar to what you would see like on a Timberwolf, but then you get the giant energy cannons on its shoulders. I do like this configuration. I like this variant. Obviously, very easy to just swap out missile pods for energy weapons. Now, obviously, compared to the 3025 art, it's like, obviously the 3025 art is a bit old, but we then get this for the ilClan era. Obviously you're still switching out the missile launchers for the energy weapons, but overall I like what they did with the model. It looks good, it's clean. It is like leaning back a little much, but that usually seems to be like a factory issue as far as how they're assembling it, as opposed to like the way that the model is sculpted, because these are in multiple parts. So that's a little bit annoying. I'm not quite sure how you could fix that, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it. It's just fine as it is. Who knows? Maybe make them artillery pieces and, leaning back to get a little bit of extra range. But, yep, there's the Catapult. Now, third, we've got the Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk obviously is one of those classics. Again, we're pulling from 3025 for the original piece of art. Now, with this particular sculpt, they've obviously gone in and done a little bit more work to it because it's got a bit more of a running pose. But that's because this actually represents the jumping variant that they've been introducing in the mercenary packs for about the last year or two. Uh, Obviously, compared to our ilClan art, it does look really good. Compared to, I think, the Thunderbolt, which was kind of doing a Naruto ninja run kind of a thing, I think they did this one a little bit better. It does have a piece that you can see right there underneath the left foot that kind of masks the fact that it's on pegs, which is removable when you swap out for the jumping variant. So, all right, now here's the jumping version of the Shadowhawk. Now, it is removable depending on how you want to work with it. Some people will want to leave it removable so you can swap it in and out. Me personally, I'll be honest, I usually go without the jumping, but this one I actually think does look pretty good. There's a little bit more explanation as far as the running pose on the feet. And if you look, you can see the three attach points on the back where the exhaust will plug in. Overall, this is a good one. Personally, I don't usually go for the jumping ones just because it does kind of throw off the look of the map a little bit. But from a modeling perspective, from a painting perspective, they are really fun. I do like this one, even if I would probably still paint it on the ground. But that's just me. And last up, we have the Regent. Now, this one's interesting because it's actually an ilClan era mech. This piece of art that we have right here, it's the only one we have. At least that I was able to find. There may be something in a source book that I missed, but for all intents and purposes, this is an ilClan era mech. According to Sarna, it was originally produced in 3145, and so it's essentially supposed to be an upgraded awesome, or I guess I should say modernized version of the awesome. And I mean, honestly, it kind of looks like it. I'm not entirely sure why it was included in the Gray Death box set. Usually there's some sort of a connection between the mechs and the unit that it represents. But regardless, it's a new model. But more importantly, I do think it's important because it shows Catalyst wanting to push more stuff into the ilClan era, not just with redesigns of the art for the classic mechs, but also getting some of the era specific designs actually into production, into plastic as well. Overall, I think it's a good first step. I mean, let's be honest, the mech's a 90-ton beast, so that's kind of what we get out of the model. It looks really good. It looks a little less ridiculous, I would say, than the awesome with its giant flat shoulder plates. But overall, it's when I think of big stompy robot, this is really what I'm looking for. So overall, I think it was really good. I think for the set entirely, we got a good mix. We got models that you're going to want to use. I think with the Catapult getting the energy weapons, which is a very popular variant of the Catapult, was fantastic. It's easy to proxy out models for different weapon systems that look similar, but when you're running a Catapult with energy weapons and the only model is the one with the missile racks, kinda doesn't quite fit. So With that said, I really like this set. If you do want to pick it up, it is currently a Barnes & Noble exclusive, meaning that right now it's only available in the United States. It will become available later on, as has been the case with like the Wolf's Dragoons box set, which was the first Barnes & Noble exclusive. But usually those are about 6 to 12 months from now. So we'll see what happens, but overall, I'm excited to get these to the table eventually and get them painted up. So thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Don't forget all of the links in the description. But otherwise, appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next time.